All right, folks. I'm doing a test. I was out shed hunting today with my son Jeffrey, and we found a shoulder blade of a deer. So I just got home and I busted out the PSE Omen here, and I'm trying a new 125 grain tip out of an arrow that's a little light for this bow. Spine's a little weak. I just don't want to shoot one of my good arrows on this. I'm not sure how this is going to go, so I'm going to see if I can set the camera up over here, and I'm going to see if I can get it where we can record this. Alright, maybe let's see if we can do this. Alright, you should be able to see it. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to actually shoot this arrow into this shoulder blade, and we're going to do two different tests here. Our first test is going to be to see if this fixed blade is going to penetrate it. And this is going out of a PSE Omen, so it is going to be moving pretty quick. Before I do shoot, I'm going to tell you guys, I've not shot a 125 grain arrow out of here, or 125 grain tip. And this is a little light arrow. I usually shoot 100 grain, but this should balance out to be about what we're going to do here. So stay tuned and let's see what happens. Alright, guys, this is why I did not want to shoot one of my good arrows. It looks like we got a little penetration, but the arrow did not make it. I'm not sure where the tip is. To be honest, I'm not even... I guess I did go through it. You can see that the I guess it did go through. The arrow didn't make it, but let's try this test again. Let's try this test again. I'm gonna sacrifice a little better of an arrow. I'm gonna go with my Easton. I know I've got a couple arrows in here that have seen better days, the fletchings. So if they don't make it, it won't be a complete loss. But then at the end of this, what we're going to do is we're going to actually have one of the other tips. I'm going to shoot a Schwacker. I've heard real good things from them. Actually, let's shoot these guys. Okay. So we're going to be shooting a Easton Full Metal Jacket. Okay, I got these on a trip. They were a little short, so I'm gonna shoot this. But what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna I'm going to take our shoulder blade of the deer that I found today, and which it did look like it went through it. if you look at this, guys, you can see it did go through that shoulder blade. I can see a couple cuts. All right. So we're going to put this thing back up here. And I get this is probably not the most beneficial test here, but we did find out that these light arrows were light arrows. So now we're going to go with a little stronger arrow that's really meant for the bow that I'm shooting out of, and we're going to go with the fixed blade. The 3 blades, we're going to put it through this shoulder bone. So I'm going to aim a little higher here and see what type of penetration and what happens to the arrow. All right. And then next, if this arrow doesn't break, we are going to be shooting the same arrow and the 2-blade Schwacker, which is a 100-grain arrow or broadhead. All right, should be fun. All right. I hit a little lower than I wanted. In fact, I hit kind of where I hit last time. But the tip is still there. Okay, the arrow's still in one piece. And definitely caused some damage. All right, so I would say that test was a success. We're going to pull this arrow through. All right, so from this distance of shooting over here to right here, it's probably only maybe 20 feet. But this arrow did not break. Okay, this is the Easton Full Metal Jacket. All right, and it's going out of a PSE Omen. Set at about 68 pounds. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually replace our tip here. And we're going to replace that with and so if anyone is wondering what these tips were, I'll tell you at the end of the video. But now we're going to be shooting a 2-blade Schwacker, which is a 100-grain arrow or 100-grain broadhead, and I've seen this on other videos on YouTube. But we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to aim higher. Obviously, we've got some damage here. This is where the first hit was. This is the second hit, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm aiming for here. Okay, so let's see what happens. And the Schwackers have a 2-blade design that have at first cutting blade, and then it should open up. So I'm going to aim higher, more the meatier part, and see what happens. All right. Hopefully you can see this. Alright. Well, I guess I didn't get very much higher. The Schwacker did its schwacking job. Doesn't look like, well, I don't know if that'll up or not. That was how it was found. But definitely went through this bone. I want to shoot this one more time, and I've got to aim higher. All right, so I'm gonna do this one more time. Keep this video under 15 minutes. So if anyone isn't sleeping by now, they'll get a good. We're looking to go through that part right there. All right, let's do this. Alright guys, I had to replace the rubber band on the Schwacker. Now we're going for launch number 2. Alright? Here we go. Wow. We had a little different thing happen there with that video. Got that. The arrow. We had a Schwacker failure. Schwacker failure here. We've got a broken blade here. Or a bent blade anyways. Although that was a third shot with it. This Schwacker's done. So Schwacker going through bone. Did work the first time. Did not work the second time. So this is what we have, folks. We have a busted Schwacker. Although that was going through a bone that may have hit. Ooh. I'm not sure exactly what happened here. But it looks like it entered here. So that's probably not a fair assessment. It looks like it entered here, and it definitely cut here. And the arrow definitely entered at a weird angle. So, alright, stay tuned. When we find some more of these bones on the field, we are going to keep on testing it. Alright? Stay tuned and have fun hunting. Take care and God bless.